It's been a pleasure to be here with you today and a pleasure to listen to all of you who's actually taken us through a lot of learning today. And it's an honor and a special pleasure to be here in the SME conference because helping people to grow from good to great or inspire greatness as my selling line is for my company is my true passion. And I really want to take you in a tangent this afternoon. So I know throughout the day we've been talking about innovation, we've been talking about, all the innovation-specific things and how to drive innovation to grow the business. But before I just tell you what I'm going to talk about, who's from HR in the audience? Anyone from HR? Okay, we have one person.
Not as an entrepreneur, you have to wear many hats, one of which is HR.
Okay, so not like, from experience or, background. Okay, because I'm going to take you in an HR tangent and we'll be talking about talent. Because as you've been talking about innovation and how to drive innovation in the business because it's a must-have to grow the business and keep going. What about the people who drive innovation, who actually make innovation happen? We haven't talked about them. And this is what I want to talk about. As you know, I am a coach, so my approach is very much coaching-like, so I'll be mostly asking questions. So I hope you don't mind, and I hope you're awake, so then we can do it together, because this is how I'm planning to do the next 10 minutes. Who's this? Is it too small? Any football fans here? The World Cup is, yeah, yes, the Reds, yes, yeah? Do we know who this is? Sacked. Why? What happened? It's a great team, isn't it? It's a Premier League.
If you are not successful, you face failure.
Yes. But was David successful or no when he was recruited to the club? Why did they bring him in?
His reputation.
His reputation and his experience and, Yes, so he did good stuff before coming to Manchester, and then it didn't work. It didn't work for both of them, because those are the same people who played and went down from the top to the 7th. In 19 years, it didn't happen to them. So the combination of these two brought them down from the first top 4 to the 7th. Something that didn't happen in 19 years. Any guesses why? Disengagement. Yeah? One more? Motivation. So this is basically what I'm here to talk about, and it's really about the combination of the two. It's the people and the coach or the leader. And how much it can really go down or go up if it's not planned well and managed well. And then taking you, or taking us to our corporate world, these are some of the other examples that things didn't work for them as well. Right? Do you recognize some of those logos? Enron? What happened with Enron? It didn't work again. It was a big fall due to poor decisions from key people. Right? GM? They were outthrown when they... So is someone happy to see GM? Yeah? Are you a competitor? Competition? Yeah? They went down because they allowed finance and processes focus to block out focus on customers and human capital and innovation. IBM, Chrysler, Chrysler, they just didn't appreciate their engineers and are still doing it. So basically, companies fall because of people issues, right?
What happened to
IBM is not what's happening to IBM. Market share? Losing market share?
Change the direction.
Yeah, but they are changing, yes, absolutely. But for some time, they've really allowed innovation to go down the hill. And this is what led them to losing a lot of market share. Yeah? So Dell agrees. They know what the competition is doing. And this is what happened really. So this slide is really just giving you a snapshot. And I call this my MRI because this is a tool that I strongly recommend and I'm personally passionate about because it helps to really identify what the issue is. And this is an MRI for a natural person. And the natural style is where the person is really true to him or herself. And this is a behavioral curve. So this is how the person behaves in the most natural, and the preference for, for how things are when I'm comfortable, when I'm relaxed, and also how I tend to behave when I'm stressed and under pressure. My natural traits is what shows up. So it's the authenticity of the person. And this is an adaptive style. And this is an MRI tool that we do for people, and everyone has a natural style and has an adaptive style. And the adaptive style is the style that you adapt to fit in a situation, to survive. And I've been in corporates for 21 years in HR, and I've been working with people, and we see a lot of adapted style. We operate within an adaptive style, and the adapted style is what drains us. Is what drains people because it's very outside my authentic self. It's not me. I'm behaving to be someone else because this is how I can survive in the environment. How many of the people you know are always coming back to you and telling you, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not sharing what's in my mind because if I do this, this is going to be, and so on and so forth. How many of us are operating from an adapted style? And what's the percentage in the day? And that's what drains us at the end of the day. That's why when we reach home, we're just knackered. We're just so tired because we've been putting up an act. And I know this for a fact. I've seen many CEOs and big shots and, leadership, and they are putting up an act because they think this is what they need to behave. Because for some reasons, things will not work if they don't. And the secret or the thing I'd like to share is that with the natural style falls our greatness. And we'll be talking more about this. So what I wanted to say before really going to this slide is that so many organizations, I was just saying, they say, no, we are the most progressive, we are advanced, we have the latest HR policies and procedures and strategies and so on. But in fact, reality is many of those organizations, they don't really practice what they preach. And these are some of the companies that we've shared who haven't really done it well, although they are amongst the biggest names. And the important point I'd like to just, present to you today or just highlight is that you guys are the creators of what the business world is up next. We have been living in an industrial economy, and this is moving into an intellectual economy. And the intellectual economy game has new rules, new players, new ways of doing things. And I'm not sure that the organizations out there are really game to play the new game. So it is a decision moment for you guys as you are starting up, the future successful businesses to make. Are you deciding to be the best player in a game that's finishing? Or are you up for a new game? Are you equipped with what it takes to really drive innovation and drive your business to success? Because the players are not the same. Yeah? I see some nodding. You agree? We see it in our kids and in our, people around us. And it's really very basic, as many of the speakers spoke about today, and Soraya was speaking to, as you were speaking, I was noting it in my head. It's about the passion, the 3 Ps that she talked about. The passion, the purpose, the third one was problem. So the secret is really to just, focus on your talent, who are driving the innovation in your business, who are driving the results to your business, who are basically driving your success or not. And these are the 3 things you really need to focus on. Identifying the talent, understand it, and I would really emphasize on this word many times. Understand the talent, understand. Don't try to make them something they are not. We don't need to. We have talents in all areas. Let's bring the right person at the right place at the right time. This is the secret formula. And utilize them. And obviously utilizing them, or effective utilization, will only happen when we can understand them. And this is a study, a genius study, and this is the book that's actually, the study has been written on or presented in. It's a genius book, genius study. And it talks really about what makes a genius a genius. And I wouldn't, talk a lot about it, but I strongly recommend that you go on and get this book if you really want to drive innovation and drive your business to the next league. And there are 2 things, really. It's self-awareness and authenticity that makes a genius a genius. And during this study, there has been, a lot of super successful businessmen have been interviewed to validate the study and the research, and it's been validated over and over again. And those were among some of the key names that were interviewed during the studies. You can recognize some names, the Yahoo, PepsiCo, Vice President, and many more. And really this links back, I'd like to link it back to the slide with the graphs. So the self-awareness and authenticity is about the natural style. I'm not saying that the adapted style is useless and we shouldn't operate, because there are some behaviors that needs to be adapted or adjusted in every one of us. There are some key things that need some, tweaking here and there. But it shouldn't be 80% of my time operating in an uncomfortable and letting go of my talents. So, another example of a genius. Do we recognize the gentleman? Yeah, Michael Jordan. Do you consider him as a genius? Yeah, he's a genius in what he does, right? Do you know this one? Do you know who this is? Any guesses? You can see, it is Michael Jordan, absolutely. Did you know that Michael Jordan actually played baseball? He didn't make it to the first league. He didn't even make it to the first league. This is sports. This is sports. He made it here, and he didn't make it here. Why? He practiced like hell with baseball, but he didn't make it. It's not his talent. It's not his talent. This is not what he's best at. This is not what he's best at. What makes a genius is when you leverage your talent, your true talent. When you are aware of your strengths and shortcomings, and you be authentic to them and live them. This is what drives greatness. So it's basically your job as a leader of your SME and business and a leader of your own is really to connect the dots. What drives you? Our passions, our values, our drivers, what keeps us going? What wakes me up in the morning and say, I want to go to my job today. I'm excited about it. Those drivers, be aware of them. Help your talent help you. Their strengths, their behaviors, what they're good at. And collectively, we're going to get the puzzle completed. So it's basically, these are the 3 dots that need to get together in each one of us, in each one of your talent. So simple takeaway, easier said than done. I know, I've been in HR long enough. So it's matching the role to the person. How many of the people that you know, or how many of us are in a job that they don't want to be in? What made you quit your job or decide to be an entrepreneur and start your own thing? You probably were not happy doing what you were doing before. I know this for a fact personally. I've quit the corporate role because I was just tired of not being authentic. Absolutely, you don't want to be normal. You don't want to comply to certain way of doing things. I just want to do things my own way. Absolutely, thank you. So I know as we are going through the slides, many of you are thinking, yes, I'm there, my organization is there, I have it all taken care of. So let's do a quick litmus test, 3 of them. I don't want you to answer me like verbally, but just answer yourself and keep the answer internally. So the first question, where does your payroll show on your P&L? Keep the answer for yourself. Second question, your turnover rate, especially as we are in a growth mode or going through different changes, mergers, acquisitions. Is it higher or lower than your defect rate of a product? Last but not least, you have a CEO. Many have met many CEOs today. You probably have a CFO. Do you have a CPO? So the news is, if you have all of them, you've passed the test and you should be very proud. If you have few of them not covered, so you have some adjustment to do. If you don't have any of them passed, you have a lot of adjustment to do. You have a lot of work, buddy. Because I'm afraid that if you continue in this finishing game, you're probably gonna go the same path as Enron and the other companies, IBM and the other companies have gone. Except that, as a SME, you don't have the momentum that those giants had to survive the journey for long. So it's your decision, or as a leader, to just, innovate and create the world that you want to create with your business, and let's change the business environment to a better one that fits all of us, that works for all of us. And it's really about those statements up there. And let's drive the way, let's lead the way to change the statement to this last one. Let's change it to, oh, thanks God, I'm happy to be going to work. Do you believe this can be done or not? The world that we live in, where people are saying, thanks God it's Friday, has been created by us. And a new world can be created by you now, creating a new world of business. So off you go.